Er det ikke lidt for tæt på?
Jeg vil gerne se den.
Det bliver svært.
Er det ikke lidt for tæt på? Sådan der.
Jeg hedder Andrea. Jeg kommer fra Mexico. Jeg er 17 år gammel, og jeg er en udvekslingsstudent. Well, it's something I didn't think about before. It was actually all of a sudden. The organization I'm traveling with, YFU, went to my school and told us that they were giving away 5 scholarships. So I said, well, I'll do it, and I don't think I'll go. Anyways, I don't think my parents will let me. So I just applied, and then they called and said, well, you have 1 scholarship. So I told my parents, and they asked me if I wanted to go, and I said, I don't know, I don't think so. And I decided it was a great opportunity, and that I would never get it again. So I decided to take the chance. The organization asked me to give 3 different options. The first time I chose Brazil, or Finland, or Sweden, and then I thought no. So I changed to Denmark, Sweden, and Norway. And well, the organization gave me Denmark, and I wanted one of those countries because, well, it's totally a different culture, and I really wanted to come here and to get to know all those beautiful places that you see in the movies. So that's why. That it was in Europe, and that's all, I think. I didn't know about the culture or anything, and for my birthday my host parents sent a book with information from Denmark, so I started reading it, and well, I got to know a little bit more, but not a lot. Until I got here is when I got to know a little bit more about Denmark. Well, there's a lot of differences. I think the weather is one of the biggest ones. Also the school, the way in which people interact between each other, that's the biggest difference. We are supposed to be more independent and take action by ourselves. We have to research for ourselves and being really responsible. In Mexico, it's the same, obviously. You have to be responsible, but it was a different system. We had 7 different blocks a day. Each one lasted 50 minutes, and it was always with different teachers. And for example, my school, I went with only girls. My classroom was composed by only girls, so that's a big difference. In the social part, I think that Danes are really good people, really nice, but it's hard to get to them. It's hard to make them open and talk. And for example, I remember my first day of school, I was really scared because in Mexico, when an exchange student gets to a new class, everybody goes and talks to that person, like if it was fresh meat or something. And here, well, I was expecting that, more or less, but it wasn't that way. So that was a really big shock, and it made me a little bit sad. But then I realized that it's not because you are mean or anything. It's because you are more respectful, and you need to take time to open to new people, and that's the difference in the social part. The food, obviously. We use a lot of spices, chili, lemon, and here, well, we don't. Yeah, a little bit. I just had one, and it was that I knew that people would be a little bit colder and that it would be harder to get to know them. And I think that was the only prejudice I had before coming here. Yeah, definitely people are colder, and it's hard to get into them. but it's easier. I thought it would be harder, and I thought that being with a new family would be really hard to, earn their trust and being comfortable around them, but it hasn't been as hard as I thought it would be, so it's okay. Well, there has been a lot of changes. The biggest, I think it's the weather actually. I expected it to be cold, but I really didn't know what cold meant. So that's hard, like being in October and freezing. This is like winter in Mexico, so that's one of the biggest changes. Also, not having my family every day, it can be hard sometimes. Having a host family is really good because they help you to feel at home and everything, but still, it's really hard not having your parents there when you just need a hug or anything. So I need to learn, and I have been learning how to deal with that. And when I first came here, I used to talk to them all the time. Even though there were 7 hours of difference, I needed to talk to them. But I realized that I've been here for 2 months and the progress has been really big. Now I don't need to talk to them that often, and I feel really better because the first month was really hard for me. Another change, I think, it's going to school. I like the school and I really like the class and everything, but it's hard to be sitting there for 90 minutes and only understanding some words because I still have a hard time understanding Danish. And sometimes I just get headaches and I just want to sleep, so that's a really big change, not understanding anything at school. The language, obviously, I never thought it would be this hard, and actually it wasn't in my plans learning Danish. I thought, I'll just speak in English all the time, but when I got here I realized that it's a really important part to get into, society, you could say. So that's a really big change also. Hi.
Hi. Say something in Danish. Leverpostej.
Leverpostej.
Rød med fløde.